There's a place of quiet stillness between the light and shadows reach, where the hurting and the hopeless seek everlasting peace. Words of men and songs of angels whisper comfort, bittersweet, mending grief and life eternal, where joy and sorrow meet.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning on a unique way to share the message of Carpenter Place. And just thank you so much for the introduction. I know Sonny could probably do on this side much better than I. So I appreciate the opportunity and the invitation from Sonny and the elders to give a virtual tour, maybe a glimpse behind the curtain of how things are going here at Carpenter Place. See, Harvest Sunday, it's really about planting a seed. In a moment, I want to share with you a story that I received just this week from a former resident. But this year, things are a little different. 2020 is really, if there would be a theme, it'd be navigating the unknown. See, there's social unrest, there's the political climate, and of course we have a global pandemic. So there's a lot of unknowns. See, I like to know outcomes. I like to know how things are going to end. But in this situation, it's just unknown and it's just unsettling. But I think we need to be reminded that as Christians, we have been navigating the unknown much before 2020. Also, Carpenter Place, we've been navigating the unknown for nearly 75 years. Being a 100% privately funded and privately placed nonprofit children's home, supported, and our roots are through the Churches of Christ. I mean, we have had many, many challenges over the years, but also many opportunities. But there's a lot of unknowns. What I would like to think is maybe all of us maybe relate better to the girls of Carpenter Place because of this experience. See, many of the situations that they have experienced in their life where there was a lot of inconsistencies, and maybe, just maybe, we can relate better to the girls of Carpenter Place through this experience. See, unknown outcomes and uncertainty can also lead to fear. And I want to share just for a moment Mark chapter 4, starting in verse 35 of Mark 4. It says, "That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, 'Let us go over to the other side.' Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up. The waves broke over the boat, and so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion." See, the next thing that the disciples said is alarming, because they're with our Savior. He said, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" See, the disciples, they were afraid. So Jesus, he got up and he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." The wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." And really the message out of this is, number one, is fear is normal. Being fearful of maybe the unknowns and just not understanding what's going to happen next, the disciples showed us that fear is normal. That was even when they were witnessing a miracle by Jesus. Their fear still existed. But do we allow this fear? Jesus asked the question of the disciples. He said, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? That no matter what's happening around you, that I am here?" So I think that's also a reminder. Do we allow fear to affect us? Do we allow it to drive us or derail our faith? And quickly over in 2 Timothy 2, 3 through 7, it's a reminder about joining God and joining Jesus in a suffering. But first, 2 Timothy, let me back up for a second. 2 Timothy 1, 6 through 8. It says, "For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For the Spirit God gave us did not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So do not be ashamed of the testimony about our Lord or of me, his prisoner. Rather, join me in suffering for the gospel by the power of God." And then in 2 Timothy 2, 3 through 7, it says, "Join me in suffering, like a good soldier of Christ Jesus. No one serving as a soldier gets entangled in civilian affairs, but rather tries to please his commanding officer. Similarly, anyone who competes as an athlete does not receive the victor's crown, or except by competing according to the rules." And then in verse 6, "The hardworking farmer should be the first to receive a share of the crops. Reflect on what I'm saying, for the Lord will give you insight into all this." In both those passages, it says, "Join me in suffering." It doesn't say, "Join me on a vacation to the mountains," or "Join me to the beach excursion." It says, "Join me in suffering." We need to expect uncertainty. We need to expect maybe things are going to be a challenge. And 2020 definitely is that. This morning, I just want to remind us that we don't have time to be timid or fearful or letting it derail or drive our faith. But we need to, during a time of unknown and uncertainties, to use that faith that we have to be like that soldier, to be like that athlete, or to be like that farmer. So just as we're moving forward in the next little bit, and I share with you some things about Carpenter Place, we probably better relate to the girls through this experience. The mission of Carpenter Place is to nurture deeply hurting girls to a restored relationship with God, family, and community. See, a part of our mission is our history. We have an incredible legacy that's deeply rooted here in central Wichita. And today is an interesting day. Today is 75 days until our 75th anniversary. To think about serving the vulnerable and the deeply hurting for that long, a lifetime of caring for children in need at this place. That is just an amazing opportunity that we have had, and it's something that the Churches of Christ should be very proud of. To be a part of this legacy, it is overwhelming, it is humbling, and I get to see some amazing things happen. And I want to share with you a story that just happened this week. We received a message through Facebook about a young lady who was here about 15 years ago. Let me just read some of her words. "It has been 15 years since I spent some time as a resident of Carpenter Place. I made lifelong friends there and think often about my house parents. I was taken from class in the middle of the day and brought there. It turned my world upside down. I did not have the best or most understanding adoptive parents, but I myself am not religious. But my house parents fought for me and showed me I was more than a pest, I was a person. I walked inside after a long drive to see my picture framed alongside the other girls. I was allowed my music to fall asleep to from day one. I had had trauma, and music helped me sleep. Through my faults and mistakes, they never put anger towards me or the other girls, even after we tried to run away on the bicycles that were kindly given to us. After we were returned, I was terrified, but then quickly confused. They were worried. After seeing we were in good shape, they were hurt and disappointed, of course, because we had abused their trust and stolen the bikes. We were given extra work like raking leaves and such, which was to be understood. Not at all the fury or punishment I was expecting. I thought we had gotten away with murder. Now I realize they didn't want to punish us at all, just to teach us. I learned a lot and grew to love my house parents, as well as the other girls in my very short stay there. I left the home with other family that took me in after seeing my previous family had no intentions of reunification. I left as quickly as I could, not realizing the impact the home and the people had on me. I wish I would have known and I could have expressed my gratitude fully. But kids are kids, and all I could think about was getting out, as if I were sentenced and finally I was free. The truth is, the stability I had there in just months was more than I had ever had in all my years growing up. I am now 30 with 3 kids of my own, and I want to give them the structure and patience and love that I received there. This is a special blessing to get this note this week. In the work as a house parent myself, Kendra and I have been serving in this role here for 3 years almost, or 2.5 years, but overall for over 10 years. And when we're looking at Harvest Sunday, it's a planting of a seed. There haven't been very many times of maybe the ones that I've served or we have served, you hear that gratitude expressed, and it's about planting seeds. We don't have a guarantee of what we're going to see harvested necessarily in our lifetime. So on behalf of the house parents who serve this young lady, it's touching to me, and also it's a reminder that we need to be intentional and purposeful in all we do. So at Carpenter Place, these are the stories that we have that keep coming in. We've been able to serve over 3,500 children. We have an amazing, beautiful campus. Also, Northside's involvement needs to be mentioned. The congregational support and individual support that we receive. Many of you have served here in the past, whether that was in a staff position, as house parents, or on our board, or on our administrative team, or in our school. Maybe you served as a mentor or volunteer. Maybe you taught them in Bible class. You've been supporters, you've been sustainers, so thank you for that. So Harvest Sunday is just one of the many ways that Northside loves on our girls and loves on our mission. So thank you so much for all you do. So the programs at Carpenter Place. We have 3 programs. We have the Christian Family Program. We have the Shelley Morrison Christian Learning Center. And we're in development of a 3rd new exciting way to help serve families in need, and it's called the Family Outreach Project at Carpenter Place. So I'd like to go through these and give you a glimpse into the work here. And really the Christian Family Program, it starts with an application process. We get an application. We know that that's where trauma has, and that family is struggling, and they're in a fractured relationship and they're really hurting. So we operate quickly from that point, where we reach out within a day to connect with that family and see how we can help. Then we'll go through an interview process if we're able to, and move forward. At that interview, we just get to know the family a little bit. We get to partner with them and see how we can serve them. And then a couple weeks later, if we're able to move forward for placement, we have a day set aside where the young lady moves in, and those days are tough. Those are emotional days. But it's a day that we can immediately connect with that young lady and with the family in unique ways. Our goal all the way through this process is to work with the family and with the environment back home, but also with that young lady to help her feel safe and to build confidence and understand how to build healthy attachments in her life, and working towards that reunification goal. We serve girls ages 11 to 18 years old, and really there's 4 scenarios who we get to serve. So these 4 scenarios where Carpenter Place serves, and I want to describe these in a way that hopefully you can be thinking about your extended connections, that maybe there's someone out there who we can help. So the first situation would be a situation that's in a typical family, where husband and wife are in the picture, and maybe there's some siblings, and maybe that young lady has just struggled. Maybe her relationships are not healthy. Maybe she's trending downward in school, and then there's peer relationships. So that would be the first situation, would be a typical family. The next would be a fracture in the family. Maybe there has been an illness, a death, a divorce, something has happened that has caused a disconnect in that home, and maybe that due to that trauma, that young lady has internalized whatever hurt has happened. So she is seeking help from or attention from the wrong places. So that would be the second, is a fractured relationship. The third would be, due to that fracture, we have a custodial guardian, whether that's an extended family member like a grandparent or an aunt or uncle, has stepped in due to that trauma, due to that fractured relationship, and a noble way to serve this family. So that would be the next, would be a custodial guardian situation. And finally, the fourth would be, it's maybe an adoption that hasn't fully connected yet. Maybe that adoption occurred later in life, and maybe there's maybe at 6 or 7 years old, so there's some attachment that has attachment traumas that have happened, so they're struggling in connecting with each other as a family. Maybe that adoption even occurred at infancy, and research shows that if a child was not held immediately at birth, that there are the neurotransmitters aren't connected as they normally would, just due to healthy touch. So there are many different complications that can happen through birth to adoption. However, there's hope. There is hope in being able to rewire the brain and be able to build healthy attachments through many different ways. So that is the fourth area that we get to serve, is through an adoption that hasn't fully connected yet. The Christian Family Program is a place that our girls can practice how to live within a family again. So our focus is on connection. What are ways that we can connect through the day, whether that's through our breakfast time or devotionals or even through chores, and also through play, that we can connect with our girls to build healthy relationships. So that typical day may look very similar to any family, lots of togetherness, especially now in a quarantine situation. We've had a lot of togetherness and a lot of challenges there, but a lot of opportunity too to connect. So that typical day is focused on how can we rebuild this child's confidence, how can we show them the love of Christ no matter what they are going through. Along with our Christian Family Program, we also have our Shelley Morrison Christian Learning Center. It is an e-based online curriculum that's accredited through Otis Bison School District. So our girls who successfully complete the academic piece as well as the Christian Family Program, they would receive an accredited diploma through our program. So it is just an amazing opportunity for our girls to practice how to be successful in the classroom, oftentimes for the first time. So we're able to prescribe an educational plan that would meet each girl's needs. So even if they're behind academically, we can get them caught up or ahead of grade level. Or even if they're doing an excellent job and they're already ahead, we even have some young ladies that take AP courses as well. So again, the academic piece, we're able to practice how to be successful in the classroom through the Shelley Morrison Christian Learning Center. I want to take just a couple minutes and introduce you to the team at Carpenter Place. It is a blessing to serve alongside each of them and to work with them in fulfilling the mission every single day. Our longest tenured employee is Patty Arnold, and she's our business manager, office administrator, and takes care of all the paperwork and all the business aspect, but also is the first face and voice you hear at Carpenter Place. Caitlin Arthod is our director of marketing, and she is helping to expand our social media presence and also coordinating our events and also just spreading the word of hope throughout the community that is Carpenter Place. Jennifer Campbell is our director of campus life, and in her role, she works from the application process to the reunification moment to help the families heal. And Teresa Warman is our director of education. So she serves the girls meeting their academic needs and helping them to be successful in the classroom. Our house parents, Aaron and Denise Arthod, and they serve at Bowling Cottage, and they've been with us for 4 years. Aaron also is a maintenance supervisor on campus, helping to keep the campus looking great and fixing those things as they come up. Luke and Jennifer Campbell, they've been with us for 2.5 years. They serve in Barrett Cottage as the relief role. Luke is also a maintenance supervisor, and he can fix anything and helps this campus just look amazing. And then Ben and Kendra Zickafoos, so we have been serving for 2.5 years, and we're in Harold Cottage. And Kendra just does an amazing job serving the girls and meeting those needs every single day. Again, I can't say enough about the team that we have here and how they are serving and how they are meeting each need. I also want to take a moment and to give you an update on the Handle with Hope campaign that we've been working on the last several years. Behind me you can see that we have the Crossbar Cottage is under construction, and it'll provide a new home for our girls. But as a review on the Handle with Hope campaign, it was a three-prong approach to serving the girls, meeting those needs that we have now, but also positioning ourselves for future growth and sustainability into the future. So part of that was the capital improvements component, where we're looking at improving as like building a cottage and also renovating some other facilities that we have and some needs that have existed. The next component that we have is looking at the security and safety of our campus. So we were able to complete a wall, building a fence on the northern part of our campus to help provide some security and safety there. We're also looking to put in a front gate, that it's an automated front gate. We've had some safety and security concerns, and we want to make sure that we're being able to provide that safe place for the girls we serve. Also, we want to develop an educational scholarship fund, which is exciting that we were able to actually establish that account this week with the money that we have raised so far. We have raised $50,000 towards the educational program that we have, and the intention is for any young lady who successfully completes her program at Carpenter Place will be eligible to apply for a scholarship towards post-secondary endeavors in her life. So that way we can stay connected to build that alumni base. The third component is an endowment focus that we can look at the sustainability of Carpenter Place for many years to come into the future. Thank you so much for helping the Handle with Hope campaign be a success and partnering with us. And if you're interested in supporting this endeavor or some of the future projects that we have as part of this, feel free to contact us. We can get you some more information, and just thank you so much. Welcome inside Crossbar Cottage. You are officially the first guest that we've been able to have inside the home, so welcome. This is going to be a 7-bedroom, so we'll have an individualized bedroom approach for the girls, and we'll be able to serve those needs. Especially timely in a pandemic right now. The challenges that we have is shared bedrooms in some of the homes, and with the current quarantine situation, that has become a challenge on what if we have a breakout within the girls, and this home will definitely provide that space necessary. But inside these homes and inside the walls here, being able to show the love of Christ, being able to provide a healing space that's nurture-rich, attachment attuned, and connecting with our Lord, there's going to be hope restored. And we're just really excited about this new addition to the homes that we have here alongside Barrett and Harold and Bowling Cottage to be able to serve the girls at Carpenter Place. In 1960, the Rhodes Field House was built. It was named in honor of Bill Rhodes, who is the 3rd CEO of Maud Carpenter Children's Home. A few years ago, we had a pretty bad day on campus. Being a coach, I had one of the sojourners that were here. He said, "Hey, Ben, I think you need to go take a look at the gym." I walked in and the floor had buckled. This is the original floor that was laid actually by, we have pictures that show where residents alongside house parents and staff here actually laid this floor down. But due to some moisture, we had the wettest July on record a few years ago, and we had several spots that were destroyed. So my sports heart wept, and with the honor being given to Bill Rhodes to name this, we needed to take care of this floor and to restore it. And over the last month, we've been able to make that happen, and that was part of the Handle with Hope campaign. So thank you so much for helping with this, because I know this gym has been a beacon. There's many stories about people coming out here on Sunday nights to play basketball, and to maybe they didn't know about the mission going on here, but they knew about the gym. So it was important that we breathe some new life into this facility and to help provide a place for our girls to play and to be active. Also, quarantine isn't a terribly bad thing. Actually, later today I'm going to be working on painting this. I can't go anywhere else, so Luke was able to give me some scaffolding, so this gym will be looking much different here, hopefully, in the next few days. So again, thank you so much, and welcome inside Rhodes Fieldhouse. We're getting real close to the end of our Carpenter Place virtual tour here on Harvest Sunday, but I did want to stop here at the Camp Pryor Bell Tower. And this is named after Ben Camp and Mark Pryor. They were residents here in the late 40s into the 50s, and they were friends and developed a lifetime friendship. But this is a bell tower now that we use in a very special way. So whenever a young lady has successfully completed the program here at Carpenter Place, the Christian Family Program, and they're at that point of reunification back home, we have a little ceremony here. It's a bell ringing, and it is very special for the girls. That's the only time that this bell rings, is when something happens on this campus. See, this bell, it was here back in the 1940s and 50s, and it was rang every day whenever something happened. That was usually dinner. So we usually do something a little different now, but this bell is in this space is symbolic of that reunification and restoration that we have through Christ Jesus. And this opportunity to reunite families back home is a very special place. So this is the Camp Pryor Bell Tower, and we just love this spot here on campus. Well, welcome inside B7. This is where we have our food pantry stored. Throughout this building, we have different rooms designated for different donation items, whether that's toiletry items or paper products or clothing items. But you're right now inside the food pantry area. Right now, we are at our lowest levels that we've been. In my last 7 years here, this is the lowest we've had. And that was due back in the spring, summer, and fall, where we had to cancel our groceries for girls pickups. So right now we need your help. We need your help through the Harvest Sunday Drive, so thank you so much for everything you've done. I also wanted to mention some other ways that you can help support and continue to support Carpenter Place. Donations of time and donations of gifts, whether it's items or of dollars, those matter in helping to restore hope. Also, there's other different ways you can help, and maybe you did that with your purchase at Dillon's, and you've attributed your community rewards to Carpenter Place. Or maybe it's through Amazon Smile. Whenever you're shopping and doing your holiday shopping, remember to go through Amazon Smile and select Carpenter Place as the charity of support. Also, coming up, be looking at our Legacy Tree jewelry and accessories. We have a new Thanksgiving tea coming out that you can give as a gift idea to support those who you love, but also it will support the girls here at Carpenter Place as well. Check us out on Facebook, check us out on my Instagram. We have some new initiatives there in a way that you can stay connected to our agency. But first and foremost, I ask of ways to help would be to pray. Pray for the continued blessings for Carpenter Place, for the staff here, that they'll have a renewed energy every single day to serve the girls in our care. Also to pray for our girls, that they'll have a restored relationship back home, that they will be able to have a healthy relationship there, but mostly that they'll find God in their stay through Carpenter Place. So thank you so much, and here's a real quick look at B7. So thank you, and thank you for all the ways you help us. As we're concluding the Carpenter Place virtual tour on this Harvest Sunday, I wanted to swing by one more spot. This little corner here is pretty special. Behind me is the Legacy Tree, and as you can see, there's a ton of leaves up here. There's names, of individuals and foundations and churches who have supported us over the years. And the metal tree, it symbolizes that sustenance and being able to weather many different things and last for a long time. And that is Carpenter Place, and that's because of, first and foremost, God's blessing, but also those who have supported us over the years. So I wanted to just say thank you so much for the support that Northside Church of Christ has given to this organization, no matter whether that was prayers or donations of time and mentorship and volunteering or dollars. All of those things have mattered into helping us restore hope and rebuild that family at home. So thank you so much once again for your support through the Harvest Sunday Food Drive. And if you have any questions about our program or our mission here, feel free to contact us anytime at Carpenter Place. God bless, and thank you so much.